so keep that in mind.
Yeah, hey, forget I asked.
That'll definitely
It'll
do.
Join the Discord.
It was the least fun I've ever had playing this game.
A small but vibrant and extremely humble community.
No, I've seen the sleeves, but I'm like, you said you're suiting up, and then you put your sleeve on. Thank you for saying that.
Because I'm a demon on the keys.
Next thing I know, we're both dead. I immediately left the lobby.
In Vietnam.
What are they playing for? Are they playing to win?
Stay humble.
Stay humble.
We are live. Welcome to the Dropshot, episode number 40. My name is Casey, also known as Razinon. I am joined, as always, by my good friend Tanner. Tanner, say hello to everyone.
What's going on, everybody?
And today's episode is going to be interesting. A couple announcements, a couple reviews, a couple playlist updates, a couple news items, but a little light on the patches. This game has not been getting much support lately. So, nonetheless, we're going to do our best. We'll keep you filled right the fuck in. And let's start off some acknowledgments real quick. Spell check swag, the real boop 99. Thank you for the offline subs, boys. Much appreciated. It's BBMF, offline gifted sub. Thank you, sir. And Anchorman, 300 biddies. All offline. Kind of insane. You love to see it. Thank all of you very much. I'm honored, humbled, and of course privileged that you would support. Offline takes courage, takes balls, gumption, moxie, insert adjective here. So thank you guys. But Tanner, I want to turn it over to you. Oh, Tanner's not here, actually. So I actually can't turn it over to Tanner.
No, I'm here. I had to close the door.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Tanner, any acknowledgments for anything, any offline activity at twitch.tv/Tanner Dropshot?
Got some offline follows. About 2 to 4 every day.
Okay, that's good. Hey, that's good. But here's what I need you guys to do now. If you have a Twitch Prime and you want to offline sub to someone, do it to Tanner. Tanner, how many subs do you have?
Ooh, I don't know. Let's check right now.
Okay, let's check
live.
in real time. Because I have 181 subs. So if you guys are just going to throw around subs while neither of us are live, do it at Tanner's channel.
109.
Oh, wow. Okay, maybe not. Hold on. Let me pump the brakes here. Maybe not do it at Tanner's channel.
Oh, hold up.
Maybe
hold
not.
up. Hold up here. You already said it. You can't take it back.
Maybe
actually,
not.
No, everybody who
channel.
subbed to Raz, just unsub and go sub to me right now. Let's do that.
Fake
Let's
news.
hit 500 tonight. Let's get Raz to 10.
Fake news. Wow, I didn't expect you to have that many subs. Okay, well, all right. Well, nonetheless, I appreciate the support, guys. Very much appreciated. Oh, oops. Pritch, 2,800 biddies. Let's fucking go. Speaking of burps and support, you love to fucking see it. Let's get some new emotes in the chizat. Yikes, by the way. Elkhounds, 2 months. Twitch Primarino. Let's fucking go. Wow. Holy shit. Dragon. Also 2,800 bits. Holy shit. Let's fucking go. Wow. You guys are coming in hot today. You love to see it. Pritch, Elk, Dragon. Thank you so much, boys. Very kind of you. Very generous of you. Wow. That is a way to start a podcast. I like how I just told everyone to stop doing that here, and then they just do it anyway.
They all just
so I'll keep it in mind. Thanks. Much appreciated. But yeah. So Pritch, Dragon, Elk, thank you guys so much. Very much appreciated, brothers. Your deductible. Let's fucking go. Jesus Christ, you love to see it, dude. I can't even get through the announcements today. Hell yeah, dude. Your deductible says bunch of cunts for his 3-month Subarino Frappuccino. You love
People
to
are loving those
fucking
emotes,
see
dude.
it, dude. Yeah. This emote is coming in clutch. So, yeah, you're deductible. Thank you, sir. All of you, thank you very much for the support, which brings me to my next point, which is that there are new emotes live in the chat. So we got 3 new emotes. Razinon LFG, which is short for Let's Fucking Go, which is being spammed in my chat right now. Good. That is why it's here. We also have Razinon Book. It is me reading a book, something you guys have probably never seen anyone do, least of all yourselves. But that's an emote now. And then we also have Razinon Mind. So keep those things in mind. New emotes are live. I had to replace a couple of the existing ones because I'm not partnered. So let's bump up that concurrent viewership. So I can get partnered so I don't have to delete emotes ever again. Let's keep that in mind as well. So BBMF, holy shit. 1,000 biddies, let's fucking go. I just spit all over my microphone. I need to, hold on. I had to like sweep that off. Disgusting. BB, holy shit, dude. Thank you for the 1,000 biddies, man. Much appreciated, sir. This is one way to start an episode of the Dropshot, a Call of Duty podcast. I appreciate the support, man. Very fucking kind of you, sir. Wow. Wow. Absolutely insane. I'm glad we have the Let's Fucking Go emote because we evidently we need it tonight. So yeah, those new emotes are live. So keep that in mind. Next announcement, and thank you again for all the support, boys. Much appreciated. You guys may or may not know this, but I do have a YouTube channel. The YouTube channel is the host of all of the video episodes of the Dropshot. So when you guys are here watching live, much appreciated, but the quality is way worse than it is on YouTube because my internet is fucking terrible. So it gets like really pixelated, really shitty looking. And so what I do is I record the whole thing, the whole video version, and then I put that on YouTube. And I will also sometimes take clips from the pod and put those there as well. So if you go to the link I just gave in stream, youtube.com/c/Razinon, you can just type in my name or the Dropshot and you'll find it. Go sub to the YouTube. I'm actually getting like a lot more subs and viewers than I ever expected to. I kind of just started putting shit here as like a repository for posterity's sake, but turns out it's actually getting some traction. So like we have full episodes, some shit I used to do on old games, well, this game and Black Ops 4. And then I'm also clipping some shit out. So if you guys wanted to like share with your friends what the pod's all about, you can go to the Dropshot clips playlist and we just clip out portions of the pod to send to your amigos to get a feel for the pod. So go sub, because 1,000 subs is a big deal on YouTube. You could enable ads, and then you guys are smart, so you have ad blocker, so it won't matter for you. But then I could potentially monetize. So even if you don't use YouTube, go fucking sub to me. Keep that in mind. Yeah, it's much higher quality because I just record it and then I upload it in the same that's like my preview. Like it doesn't cut out ever or anything like that. So if you guys do like watching video versions, you could find it there. BBBTSKOINEY23 with the tier 1 sub. Let's fucking go. Holy but Jesus. Thank you, sir. Welcome. An honor. I'm honored. I'm humbled. I'm privileged. I appreciate that sub, BBT. Thank you. Change your name, by the way. But yeah, thanks for that sub, dude. You love to fucking see it. Kaylee, welcome. Welcome. And then last for me for announcements is this Saturday will be another Q&A. So make sure that you do, first thing, join the fucking Discord. And second thing, submit your questions. Anything you want us to fucking, what's it called? Answer. You can ask in the Discord. There's a section called Q&A questions. Go there, ask a question, any question. And unless it's terrible, we'll answer it. We've answered virtually every question that's been asked there. So, and even if we don't get to it in the next Q&A, we would get to it in the following one or whatever. Questions don't get skipped. So we're going to be doing that on Saturday. So ask away in the Discord. And once again, join the fucking Discord. Tanner, anything from you, brother?
Oh, I will not be here next Wednesday. So we're trying to figure out what's going to happen for that. But I will be out of town. It's that vacation I was supposed to take last month. Big Sur, California. So I will be gone for those days. So we're trying to see how to play that out still. We'll let you guys know probably by this Saturday, but I will not be here.
Yes. Yes. And then we're also thinking of rescheduling the following Saturday, which would be on the 4th of July. We're thinking of rescheduling that to the 3rd of July. But we are undecided on that. But I think we're leaning more heavily toward the 3rd, which would be the Friday. Is that correct to assume, Tanner?
That's correct.
So, a weird week after this one. But this Saturday will proceed as normal, and then things get kind of weird for a week, but we'll be fine. There are speed bumps on this road, this great winding road we call life, and we're gonna fucking plow over them and break our axles. Hopefully not. So, anyways, any other announcements, Tanner?
That's it.
Okay. Oh, okay, Doug, for sure. I'll slide in your DMs again in that case, Doug. We'll figure something out. So now this next section is, of course, iTunes reviews. Now, as we say on the Dropshot of Call of Duty podcast, if you rate the podcast 5 stars, you could write whatever you want, and I'll read it. I will read it live. Now, what this is essentially turned into is panhandling. Because we get a lot of listens on the Dropshot. We're the hottest up-and-coming podcast in gaming. So people are very incentivized to panhandle on this platform, which is great. If you rate the podcast 5 stars, I will allow you to panhandle. So go to iTunes, rate it 5 stars, and if you want to write a review, it will be read. Like this. This one's from mprod25, Great COD Pod. While driving in my car and tired of listening to music, I was looking to see if there were any COD pods, and I'm glad I discovered this one. Great job. Thanks. I appreciate the time you guys spend out of your day to do this. That is oddly sincere. Thank you. I'm learning a lot and like to hear what other people's opinions are on this game. However, here it comes. I am currently seeking out new players to team up with and try to dominate Warzone. What would I say to that, Tanner?
Join the fucking Discord.
Join the fucking Discord.
Let's go.
Join the fucking Discord. So do that. And then if any of you or your listeners, either of you or your listeners want to team up, my Activision account is MCDROPSHOT #2744841. I play on PC. So that's MC Dropshot. Kind of cool. #2744841. And he plays on
Little
PC.
PC gamer too.
Yeah.
Okay.
So interesting. So yeah, join the fucking Discord, mprod, and thank you for the analytics, you stupid bitch. Moving on to this next one here. Low key super hurt. Change it. Help if you can. Hello, love you guys. Been looking into building a PC for a while, but all my money's going towards school. If anyone could help, I would immensely appreciate it. My Cash App is, what is it? $? $LKSH. Thank you. Once again, Cash App is $LKSH, which is short for low key super hurt. So first of all, who hurt you? And are you 14, or did you make this Apple account when you were 14? Because only a 14-year-old would make their name low key super hurt, unironically.
Low key, no cap. It's a doozy.
But high key, thanks for the analytics. Much appreciated, and we hope your panhandling goes well. And then last one for today, Spaceman Rams, 5 stars. Title of this review is Work. And the question is, what's your 9 to 5 jobs? Well, interesting question. I think we've mentioned this before. I work 40 hours a week, 9 to 5, doing office work. I work in an office doing office things. What I do is incredibly it's incredibly tedious to explain and also totally uninteresting. So I'm not going to, but basically I'm a desk jockey who works in an office doing things like that. And then Tanner works at a hardware store. What about your other prospect, Tanner? Any news on that?
I still haven't made the final decision.
Interesting.
I need to call him pretty soon.
Interesting. Well, so
we'll make the announcement if it comes.
We'll make the announcement. Yeah, we should. So yeah, Tanner just works at a hardware store for now. You work about 40 hours a week, right? 32 maybe?
Yeah, I've been trying to work less lately just because I don't know.
You're a lazy
working
bitch.
4 days.
Yeah.
I feel like working 4 days, so yeah. Usually 40 though.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. All right, well, that is that. If you were listening for the jingle, here it is. All right, so first section, as always, is playlist.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Change the title in the
Ooh,
podcast.
Thank you. Let's do that. Imagine having scrubbed through all of that, listening for the jingle, and then as soon as it happens, there's just more bullshit. So get shit on, listener. Get shit on, scrubbing listener. All right, we're here now, though, I promise. Okay, so first section, playlist updates. Yeah, class, if you could turn your attention to the screen. We've got June 23rd, this is yesterday. Playlist and new operator. And this was leaked before this article was written. This was leaked at modernwarzone.com, which you can find conveniently linked in the Twitch chat. So basically we have the Gaz operator bundle, and I think that guy's name is Kyle Garrick. Am I correct?
Yes, I believe so. Yes.
Yeah. So he's got his little operator bundle in the store now. So, okay, if you're into that sort of thing, but more importantly for us, is a playlist update. So we have Boots on the Ground War, which means no more realism ground war. It's back to regular ass ground war, and, no tanks. I think it's no vehicles at all, which is not great. But if we're lacking tanks, then we'd love to see it. So that's back. Blueprint gunfight. So, okay. Realism mosh pit, which I find very interesting. All or nothing. Face off. And stir crazy. Now, Tanner, what is all or nothing?
No fucking idea.
What is face off?
No fucking... Absolutely no idea.
Okay, so this is the state of the Dropshot, a Call of Duty podcast. We don't know what all or nothing or face off is. I don't know what these things are. So we're going to do some, what's it called? I'll look into it. On the fly. Okay, Tanner's going to look into it. And then Stir Crazy, which is a 10v10 mosh pit. And then in Warzone, we have solos, duos, quads, trios. And then we also have Plunder, which is 3s. We have Blood Money quads, which is Plunder 4s. And then we have Plunder duos as well. So there are actually a lot of Warzone playlists available right now. And that means also, of course, that Realism Warzone 4s is out. So most people were not a fan of that anyway, so that doesn't really matter. So now you know. Now you fucking know. What else do we have here? Any updates, Tanner?
Yeah, so all or nothing, You start with nothing more than a throwing knife and an empty handgun and have to scavenge from bodies for ammo. It's a free-for-all game type, and you fight your way to 20 kills. And then face-off is just 3v3 on domination, kill confirm, grind, etc.
Got it. And then what about Stir Crazy mosh pit thing?
That's been in the game before. Stir Crazy, I believe, usually has everything in it.
Oh, it's like cranked.
Yeah, we actually like the
grind.
Stir Crazy.
Yeah, we did
playlist
like
last.
that.
I think it was 6s before though, so I will definitely try the 10s.
Yeah, that should be interesting. So a lot of the realism modes are out, which is good in my opinion. And then we had another playlist update. Kind of. This is a tweet from Infinity Ward. A quick playlist update is now live across all platforms to adjust the following. That's not a playlist update. Kind of. Okay. Removing uncommon and rare burst fire versions of the M4 assault rifle in Warzone loot. And then also allowing parties into the all or nothing playlist in Modern Warfare. Now, Tanner, so for those of you listening who play Warzone at all, you've noticed that there are M4s in Warzone at the start of Season 4. And they were of the burst fire variety. Tanner, and those are now gone. They took those out. So no more burst M4s in the Warzone loot pool. Tanner, what are your thoughts on a burst fire M4 being loot in Warzone?
The dumbest fucking thing I've ever seen. It was so stupid. You know how many times that got me killed because I would never think about it? Like, why would they put that on the ground? Why? Especially the first time that it happened, I was so mad. And then it would happen again later. You'd pick up a different M4 variant. It would also be burst. I'd be pissed. I'd be yelling. So it wasn't great. Whoever's stupid fucking idea that was, maybe they got fired and that's why they removed it. So
hopefully they lost their livelihood. I agree. That was a joke. Kind of. Yeah. So look, whenever you see M4 in this game, you think M4.
Mm-hmm.
Full fucking auto. Like, I'm not gonna like look at the attachments or whatever. By the way, it didn't say burst M4 when it was on the ground. It just said M4. It might have said burst in the fine print in the description. I don't read in game. I do read often out of game. Read a book. But in game, yeah, I don't have time for that. I see M4, I pick it up, and I'm ready to bang. And then I'm like, oh shit, it's burst fire. I'm dead. Because I was expecting it to be full auto. So my question to Infinity Ward, this is just yet another example of a startling lack of critical thinking skills, which is, why not just use a FAMAS if you want to have a burst AR? Like, why do you have to make the M4 burst fire? And then put that into the fucking loot pool? Like,
I hadn't even thought of that. It makes so much more sense.
It's so dumb. It's so dumb to do that it's like, it just defies all logic. What advantage does having a burst M4 over a FAMAS have? Because when I see a FAMAS on the ground, I know I'm picking up a burst fire weapon. When I see an M4, I don't. It's needlessly confusing. And every single time, I would be surprised. That's another thing, too. It's like, oh, well, you know, you're surprised the first time you pick up the M4, but then you know in the future. Wrong. Absolutely wrong. Every single time I pick up an M4, I get surprised that it's a burst variant in Warzone. Every single time. So I don't know why they couldn't have just made this a FAMAS or just not put the burst variant in. It's really dumb. It's really dumb. I need to catch up on chat here. Vaping Viking, 2 gifted subs. Let's fucking go. You love to goddamn see it. Virgo Pro Z, Monkey Man 07109. Welcome to this small but vibrant and extremely humble community, boys. Viking. Of course, again, thank you as always, brother. It's an honor and a privilege that you've joined us here this evening. Monkey Man, I've got my fingers crossed for your PS4. Hopefully you can get that figured out soon. Viking, thank you again, man. Much appreciated. Hopefully that gifted sub cheers you up. Although if I couldn't game and I got gifted a sub, I wouldn't be, you know, totally satisfied, but it would help a little bit. So, so nonetheless, Viking, thank you very much. So now the next section that we're going to go over here is patch notes. All right, great. So the next section we're going to go over here is news and upcoming changes. So there was no patch. The only patch that happened was the playlist updates, sadly. So this game is dying. It's a dead game. Hopefully they're working on the fucking launch of COD 2020, but I suspect that they are not. So nonetheless, this is an interesting point of conversation. Weapon tuning changes coming to MDub mid-season 4 update. So Joe Seacott, also known as Joe Apricot, has tweeted in response to a question. This was the question he received on Twitter. On a serious note, guys, when is the Growl going to be nerfed? At least 90% of the kill cams are from a Growl. Does that not tell you anything? The M4 was nerfed 3 times immediately. The Growl is ruining Warzone right now. Okay. And then Joe Seacott actually replied to this tweet because it didn't mention skill-based matchmaking. And Joe Seacott said, we have a batch of weapon tuning in the works for the mid-season update. Patch notes will outline when they drop. So the weapon tuning was categorically announced. And now we have confirmation that this is going to take place in the middle of this season. Now, how much does that tell you in terms of a timetable? Almost nothing, because the seasons are actually quite long, and they've made mid-season adjustments in season 3, literally like 3 weeks before season 4 launched. So mid-season could very well mean 2 months from now, like actually. Hopefully that's not the case, but it definitely could mean that. But nonetheless, if we can expect anything from a batch of weapon tuning, we can expect the Growl to be nerfed. Would you agree with that, Tanner?
Absolutely. And like you're saying, I think it was last season. It was before they postponed the season. They put out something called a quote unquote mid-season update. And I'm not kidding. It came out like 3 weeks after the actual midweek would have been. So take that with a grain of salt. I mean, it could come early. That would be ideal. But more than likely, yeah, it'll be. I would say it's at least a month out.
I would say that too.
5 weeks out,
yeah,
at least.
Agreed. So they're going to nerf the Growl. Do you think it's going to be too much? Or do you think it's going to be not enough? Or do you think they'll get it right?
I think they'll get it right to the point where people have to actually choose a gun. You'll see more people using an M4. Because, yeah, they haven't done a horrible job when it comes to that stuff in this game, surprisingly. They've actually done a pretty good job at nerfing weapons, except for taking forever to do this.
Agreed.
But most people didn't complain about... Nobody complained about the Growl until, honestly, probably 3 or 4 weeks ago. It wasn't that it's been overpowered, and people have just finally realized that everyone's running it in Warzone, so now they're sick of it, which makes sense.
It does make sense. Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't seem overpowered in multiplayer because I don't think it really is, because the M4 is, you know, I think better on smaller maps still.
Okay. Has no sense.
It is. But anyways, no, I think they'll do a good job, and hopefully we'll actually have a few ARs to choose from that'll make sense. I agree. I'm not sure how I would nerf the Growl. Because like you said, I still think it's the best gun for multiplayer, but I don't think it's the best gun by a huge margin. In other words, the Growl is not as dominant in multiplayer as the M4 was before it got nerfed. Because before the M4 nerfs, it was the only gun in multiplayer. I think the M4 pre-nerf was way more OP than the Growl is in multiplayer now. But I still think it's definitely the best gun in multiplayer and definitely in Warzone. So how do you appropriately nerf the Growl is a very good question. And I'm not sure how I would answer that. One of the clever things they did to nerf the Growl was reduce its headshot multiplier. And what that meant was it wasn't
very big of a nerf, but it was enough of a nerf to where you couldn't get lucky and like 3-frame someone with full armor, which I think would be a pretty good start. I'm not even sure that only reducing headshot multiplier would be a sufficient nerf though. I wouldn't want to see them change the recoil pattern because I don't trust them to do that without ruining the gun. I think I would probably just like to see a slight nerf to the damage ranges of the Archangel and the Nexus barrel, but I don't know how impactful of a nerf I would want that to be. I don't know how much range I would want them to lose on those. But like you said, the Grau is way better in Warzone than in multiplayer, and I think the best way to combat that is to just kind of rein in the damage ranges a little bit. So that's what I would hope for. But as far as weapon tuning, do you think they'll change any other weapons with either nerfs or buffs?
Hold on. Regarding the Grau, I disagree strongly with you. I don't think the damage needs to be adjusted at all, really. I think it's almost strictly the recoil. That's what everyone has an issue with. When you have the thing set up correctly, with the Archangel, with the grip, however you're running it, that thing has 0 recoil at range. That's the biggest problem. If it bounced around a little bit more, taking more skill to hit those shots, I think that would be the only difference it needs. Maybe a slight adjustment of damage at range, like, you know, maybe 1 extra bullet to kill or something at a certain distance for Warzone. But I think it's almost strictly the recoil that needs to change.
If that was the case, why isn't the M13 better than the Grau right now?
It just doesn't do enough damage. It's like a BB gun.
Okay. Yeah.
Also, another thing I was thinking maybe they would possibly do is lower the 60 round mag to a 50 or something. I don't know how I'd feel about that, but I could see that happening too.
That's actually not a bad idea. Yeah. Or just removing the 60 round, because I think there already is a 50. That would definitely help it.
Oh, there is, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, that would help it be balanced in Warzone, but not like really mess it up in multiplayer. That's a great point. That's a great idea. Unfortunately, they'll never do that, to be clear.
You don't think?
No, they're not going to remove an attachment. They've never done it yet. I don't think they would do that. I think they would do something else. But interesting. Time will tell, but one thing we can almost be sure of is that the Grau is going to get nerfed in some capacity. But what other weapon buffs or nerfs would you expect or want?
This tweet almost makes us sound like they're going across the board and doing a bunch of things.
That is what it sounds like.
So I'm going to say the obvious, the MP7 is still extremely overpowered.
MP5, you mean?
Yes, sorry. MP5, not the MP7.
Yeah.
MP5 is overpowered. The Vector blows. I mean, do you think the Galil maybe needs lower recoil to compete in Warzone? Because otherwise I don't think people will ever use it. Maybe lower the recoil on that or something. So that's another viable AR option.
Interesting.
Other than that, I can't think of many guns. I mean, there's a bunch of shit ARs in the game. You know, Scar, AK, they all need buffs, but they're not going to do it. So there's no point in talking about that.
Yeah, they're not going to do that much, but...
Yeah. They could have touched all those months ago if they wanted to, but they didn't, so they're not going to.
Agreed. Sadly agreed. The AK needs a ton of love. The Scar needs some love, not too much. I think the FAL could use a little less recoil. Still, I think it's really close to being good, but it just has a little too much recoil to be good right now.
Yeah.
But interesting points on the Grau. The MP5 absolutely has to be nerfed. I can't believe it hasn't been nerfed yet. I mean, it is so disgusting in like every scenario. And I don't know. I mean, they nerfed the 10 millimeter ammo, but then they just made the 45 round mag like the meta. And it's insanely disgusting. Really fast ADS time, really low recoil, really fast sprint speed, sprint to fire speed. It has all the attachments you could possibly want. It has an integral suppressor that increases bullet velocity, which is super OP because it's a 2-for-1 attachment. The MP5 absolutely has to be nerfed, in my opinion. And then it would be a super fun SMG meta, because all the other SMGs pretty much are nipping at the heels of the MP5. I think the SMGs are very well balanced, except for the MP5. Like, I think they're all good. Maybe with the exception of the Striker. But even the Striker, also known as the UMP, has a lot of benefits. Well, it has damage range that none of the other subs have. The Uzi might have it with the ammo conversion. But besides that, like, they're all pretty balanced. So if they nerf the MP5, we would have a really fun SMG meta, as long as they don't nerf it too hard. But with ARs, I agree with you 1000%. Nerf the Growl, buff the Scar, buff the AK, buff the FAL slightly. Don't get crazy, because the FAL's still really good. And then it would be a really fun fucking game again. And that's to say nothing about the god-awful marksman rifles in this game, which you never see used because there's no point in using any of them unless you're trying to make a 2005 YouTube highlight reel montage thing. But no one cares about that anymore. So we will see what those changes will entail, and we will see when they will come. Like I said, I don't expect them, or like Tanner said, I don't expect them for at least 4 to 5 weeks, unfortunately. But we will keep you, of course, apprised on that. Jake down, the gifted sub. Let's fucking go. You love to see it, dude. Jake, sorry. I was balls deep talking about this supposed weapon tuning or future weapon tuning update. But Dylan Carr Kills, I think is what that is. Dylan Carcless. Welcome to the small but vibrant and extremely humble community. And Jake, once again, thank you so much for all the support, brother, and for that gifted sub. You love to fucking see it. You love to fucking see it. So, what else do we have here? This next news item is kind of interesting to me. Realism mode to be added to MDub quick play filter. This was, again, courtesy of Joe Apricot, also known as Joe Seacott on Twitter. And he was replying to someone asking about realism, and he said, it is our intention to add it to the filter. Now, does anything strike you as odd about this tweet, Tanner? So you're the head, what is he, the head of the fucking studio?
Let's see what he is. Co-design director of multiplayer.
So he's basically in charge of multiplayer, along with some other dickhead.
Some other idiot, just as dumb as him, yeah.
So let me reread the tweet, and then I want to see if this raises any kind of, if this makes anyone else say Razinon sus. Quote, it is our intention to add it to the filter. Anything weird about that to you, Tanner? Or am I just bugging?
The word intention is weird to me.
Exactly. It's like, hey, are you capable of patching your game, you fucking idiot? What do you mean it's your intention? Why don't you just say, yeah, we're going to add it to the quick play filter? What a strange thing to say. It is our intention to add it to the filter. It's almost as if it's missing a clause. Like, we intend to add it to the filter, but maybe some fucking, I don't know, some djinn inside the fucking code is going to prevent us from doing it. Very odd way to speak. And I think that is emblematic of the stranglehold that Infinity Ward is victim of with respect to Activision. So maybe what he's trying to say here, like he's doing Morse code in a hostage video by blinking. He's saying, Activision controls me. I am Activision's bitch. And we want to do this for you, community, but we can't. So it's our intention, but the boss over at Activision hasn't signed off on it yet. I have no other way to explain why he would word this this way. it is very weird for the fucking head of the studio or the head of multiplayer to say he intends to do something. Hey, just say you're going to do it. Weird. Super weird. But secondly, onto the substance, realism mode will be added to the quick play filter. What are your thoughts on that, Tanner?
I mean, I don't see how it could negatively affect much. I mean, the people who are playing realism are playing it every time it comes around anyways. So, and I do see a lot of people complain that it keeps leaving. So, I mean, I have no issue with it all. I still think it's dumb that things like 10v10 domination were removed for other shit playlists. So I'm a little salty about it, but you know, I think realism is a more popular game mode than hardcore. If it had been in the filter the entire time, I think more people would play realism than they would hardcore. So I think it should be there. I think they should only have like 1 or 2 game modes for it, but it should definitely be in there.
Yeah, for sure. I think I'm with you. I mean, I don't have a problem with them adding it. The only thing when I read this, though, was I was surprised that realism is popular enough of a mode for them to even consider doing this. Like, no one talks about realism mode. But apparently it's way more popular than you and I thought, because if they intend on adding it to the quick play filter, then it must be a lot more popular than we were thinking. So that's weird to me. I can see the appeal, though, because it's kind of like you get the hardcore experience without the team shooters, the griefing potential, and it's still a little higher time to kill outside of headshots. So, like, I could see it being popular. I get it. I'm just surprised that it is. That was the main thing that I was kind of surprised by when I saw this. So, very weird. Young Douglas with the gifted sub. Let's fucking go. Base Guy 85. Welcome back to this small but vibrant and extremely humble community. Young Douglas, thank you ever so fucking much for that gifted sub, dude. You absolutely love to see it. Very kind of you, Doug. Much appreciated, brother. And Base Guy 85, welcome back, dude. Glad to have you, sir. Douglas, thank you again. So, on to other news. This took the social media sphere by storm. And I want to show you guys. Ninja and Shroud could return to Twitch after Mixer joins Facebook Gaming. So, those of you listening, some of you may be familiar with Mixer. Mixer is like one of 3 competitors to Twitch. Twitch being the 4th in like video game live streaming. Mixer is owned by Microsoft, and they paid Ninja, Shroud, and some other really big names tens of millions of dollars to sign a contract, stop streaming on Twitch, and go over to Mixer and stream there full time. However, this experiment in competing with Twitch has failed, according to Mixer, and Microsoft is scrapping the platform. So Ninja and Shroud are like among the 2 biggest names that got poached from Twitch to Mixer, and Mixer is going to be joining with Facebook Gaming. Now, if you guys don't know what that is, welcome to the 99% of us who don't know what that is. I didn't know what that was, though. But Facebook has its own streaming section. There are people that game there and stream there. And it's actually growing. I don't know how much market share they have. You should follow Devin Nash on Twitch and on YouTube. He can give you all those numbers. He's a guru with it when it comes to this shit, and I'm a big fan of Devin Nash. But nonetheless, Mixer and Facebook Gaming, which are 2 direct competitors to Twitch, have merged, which means that as one entity, they're kind of a bigger competitor to Twitch now. But what else is interesting about this is that Mixer now has to pay out the entire contract that they offered to Shroud and Ninja and these other big names for leaving Twitch. And since Mixer is shutting down now, they can take that money and go right back to streaming on Twitch, which is by far the biggest video game live streaming platform on planet Earth. So Shroud and Ninja, this is best case scenario for them. They made out like bandits. They had to stream on Mixer, come away from Twitch for a couple months, not even a year. They got paid a lump sum of $10 and $30 million respectively to do that. And then they can go right back to Twitch. Pretty fucking crazy. Now, I will say it really sucks if you were an employee at Mixer because you just lost your job. And it also really sucks if you're like a small-time streamer, content creator on the Mixer platform who has maybe built their brand up to a decent amount, and now you're forced to fuck off to some other platform because Mixer is going away. But this, like I said, has been taking social media by storm, and I thought it was largely unsurprising that Mixer was shutting down due to a lack of popularity. I am more surprised, though, that they merged with Facebook Gaming. Basically, what that means is they're making the transition for streamers on Mixer to Facebook Gaming very seamless. They're going to say, hey, we're going to like auto partner you. You can automatically get like all the benefits of being like a Facebook Gaming like partner if you're a Mixer streamer now. And there are probably other elements to what the merger entails. But Tanner, do you have any thoughts on this whole story?
My one thing is I keep seeing people that are like really upset by it, and they're like, I've spent all this time, growing on Mixer, like for this to happen, it's such bullshit. Like, this is like people like very upset, like crying and stuff. But the thing I don't understand, like if you've built that community and you have a bunch of concurrent viewers, they don't care where you're streaming. They're going to watch you. I don't get why people make it such a big deal and they're acting like their lives are over. Like, hey, just switch platforms. I get it. It's a lot of work. You are getting screwed, but your community is still going to be there for you 100%. So I don't know. I mean, unless a lot of these people are banned from Twitch. I did read that. Like one thing somebody was like, I'm banned from Twitch. I have nowhere to go, like this and that. I don't know. They were complaining about all this. Like I've spent all this time on Mixer just for this to happen. That's the only thing I can think of. Other than that, it's like just switch platforms and your fans should follow you. If you have that many concurrent viewers, they're gonna follow you.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. I mean, despite how much smaller Mixer is than Twitch, the streamer to viewer ratio is still better on Twitch than it ever was on Mixer. So if you were able to grow on Mixer, it's harder to grow there than it is on Twitch, believe it or not. So if you were able to grow on Mixer, it should be easier for you to do on Twitch. And you can definitely get a lot of those viewers to switch over, because if they were like endemic to Mixer, Mixer's not going to exist anymore. So they won't be endemic to Mixer anymore. You're not going to have anyone like that because Mixer won't exist. So they'll have to go somewhere else. So they'll follow you to Twitch or wherever you choose to go. But this is also why anyone who's streaming or interested in that needs to go subscribe to, on YouTube, Devin Nash and Alpha Gaming, because they talk about this whole thing all the time. And this is one of the important things. If you're trying to do this whole online thing, diversify. Be on more than one platform. You don't want to be totally beholden to like one platform, because what if you get banned? What if you get hacked? What if they shut down? What if they merge? You don't want your whole livelihood to just be flushed down the toilet because one website decides to fuck you over in one way or another. So you should already have like an Instagram. You should already have a Facebook. You should already have a YouTube channel. You should already have a TikTok, so that when these things happen, it's never going to be great. if you were streaming on Mixer, but you can at least be in a position to make that transition as smoothly as possible. But nonetheless, I did find this interesting. I feel like if Mixer had merged with YouTube gaming, Twitch would have to be scared, because YouTube gaming is a lot bigger than Facebook gaming is.
Yeah.
Facebook gaming is the smallest of the three. But since they did merge with Facebook gaming instead, I don't expect Facebook gaming to be going anywhere. I don't think this Mixer merge is going to help them very much, but I don't really know how this will play out. But Ninja and Shroud are super happy. Millions of dollars, and they don't have to uphold their contracts at all. Pretty great for them. They made out like fucking bandits. So, very interesting. Next, a little announcement, if you guys can turn your attention to the screen. Episode 33, all about Warzone, is the first Dropshot episode in history to surpass 2,000 listens. Let's fucking go! So that is fantastic, and that is thanks to all of you fine young listeners out there. So thank you very much. Thank you for listening. Thank you for rating. Thank you for sharing it with your friends. We're experiencing quite a bit of growth, and it is good to see. I have read more than one spot that 10,000 listens per episode is kind of the magic number as far as, getting into that positive feedback loop to where you can really make a big podcast. So we are 20% of the way to at least having one episode that has 10,000 listens. And that would be really good for a lot of reasons. It would be good for you guys because it would mean more content of higher quality. It would be good for us because I wouldn't have to work my dumb, tedious, boring office job. And Tanner wouldn't have to sort screws of varying eighth inch lengths on a shelf. So thank you guys very much. This was actually a very important milestone for us. It's interesting because we did not surpass 1,000 listens on a single episode for like 3 months. And then from 1,000 to 2,000, it was like 3 weeks. So the rate of growth has been accelerating quite a bit. And obviously that is all thanks to you guys. So thank you very much for that. We very much appreciate that. Tanner, do you need to restart your computer?
No.
Okay. Go ahead and go live. And then the last thing is, as you guys know, we did launch the Patreon. As I also told you, do not sign up for it until next month, because there will not be any bonus content this month, but it is technically live. And if you type !Patreon, then you will... I think there's an ! Patreon. Is there?
There better be.
Well, if I can type it. Oh, there isn't. I need to add that command. All right, let me write that down. 1 segundo hombres. There we go. Okay. So, it's technically live, but no bonus content for this month, but it will be next month. So make sure you are signed up for the Patreon. And then you can see details of the bonus content at patreon.com/thedropshot, one word. And at the end of the episode is where one of the benefits of the Patreon is a shout out by name for the Damascus patrons. And unfortunately for Jake, he didn't listen and he signed up for the Patreon this month. So he's going to get shafted on everything except this. Jake, as our first patron, our first Damascus patron, special thanks to you, brother, for supporting this podship podcast in more ways than one. You are very much appreciated. Jake Down is our first ever patron and our first ever Damascus patron. So special thanks to you, sir, and an honorary special thanks to the Vaping Viking honorary patron, lifetime honorary patron, the Vaping Viking, for his bottomless pit of generosity. That is him. So
Yes.
So keep those things in mind.
Yeah, Jake, Jake, you've been hanging around for a long time, and we do really appreciate it. You're always active in the streams. You're always active in the Discord, and so it's pretty fitting that you're our first Patreon member, dude. We really appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure. And that goes a long way too, like just being active and around,
Yeah, very long way.
When we say we're a vibrant community, it's because of people like Jake Down. Just like Tanner said, like he's always fucking around. He's in the Discord, he's in the streams, whatever. We don't require that of anyone, obviously, but it is very nice and it makes the experience better for everyone. Because like the Discord now is really fucking popping. Join the fucking Discord. And Tanner and I can't do that on our own. It can't be us two, like, whatever. Just being in there 24/7. It's a team effort, as it were. And Jake has been a very important team member. So thank you for that. Thank you for being a Damascus patron. Once again, of course, a lot of support this stream. Actually kind of fucking nutty. So what do we have here? Jake Down, Vaping Viking, Silvovitz, Pritch, Elk, Dragon, Your Deductible, BBMF, TSKOINEY 23. Thank you all. And Young Douglas, of course, for the bits, the cheers, the gifted subs, the resubs, the support. I am honored, humbled, and fucking privileged. And now we are going to go left click on some heads, given that Tanner is ready. Tanner? Hello? He must have hopped out. No, he didn't. Tanner, I can't hear you. Okay, well, I can't end the podcast until Tanner's mic is working, so. Tanner. You stupid bitch, Tanner. All right, I guess I'm ending it without him. Yeah, we're going to go stream over at Tanner's.
I'm here.
Okay, thank you all for watching.
I didn't want to interrupt you.
Stick around. We're going to raid Tanner. Don't fucking go anywhere. Have an excellent evening. And as always, remember, stay humble.
Stay humble.